From being a pre-K teacher to now as a functional health coach and running her own business, what does that look like? We're going to take it from Lacy's story in the teaching world to why did she pivot, and then to tips to making $10,000 a month and how to grow a podcast. So, Lacy, welcome on.
Thank you. Okay, so I was teaching pre-K, and then the goal, I always just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And so when I got pregnant with my oldest, I stayed home from, who is 7 now.
7, okay.
And I have stayed home with her until last year. And last year, well, actually, yeah, until last year. And then my husband has had leukemia twice since she was born. And the second time, I had a ton of chronic health issues and just decided, well, I didn't just decide, I got to like my wits end dealing with doctors that didn't give me answer. I actually, okay, TMI, but it's all practitioners here, so I can say this. But I had a 6-month-long period, and the final OBGYN that I went to for like a second or third opinion, right, told me that nothing was wrong with me at like the 5-month mark of being on my period. And I'm like, it messed with my head, but now I'm like, what on earth? How can you tell somebody who's been on their period for 5 months there's nothing wrong with them? Anyway, long story short, I got to my wit's end, like just at my breaking point, and I started just praying, asking the Lord what to do. And I just really felt called to go back to school. And so I went back to school and got certified as a functional medicine health coach. And then
when you say go back to school,
yes.
Is that a degree? Is that certifications? What is that? What does that look like? Okay.
I always say I'm addicted to certifications. I keep telling my husband, like, it's the last one, and it's not ever the last one. But yeah, lots of certifications, your certification. And yeah, and now I'm here doing this, and I get to work with women all the time and help them with their chronic health issues.
Nice. Let's talk about school real quick, because I get this question a lot.
Okay.
If I were to go back to school, what do you recommend I do?
I get that question on a daily basis too. And that's a hard one. I feel like certifications, I know that you like the FDN program as well. I always tell people that, as a whole well-rounded program, that is, a great one. I don't know. Are you still doing functional blood work specialist?
We're doing foundational medicine specialist now.
Okay. That's amazing. I did not know that. Yes. Okay. Yes. That's amazing. That is that's all you need to run a practice. I feel like that's it.
All you need.
Yeah.
What we're doing at the next round, which starts in September, it's going to be blood work, creating a protocol. That's our big thing is look, we got to get you out of the one-to-one. We need to create a protocol that will help serve a variety of people at one time. Then, of course, business. I can't do clinical without the business. So it's now loaded. But we had to figure out a different name because when we go to accreditation sources, they needed more than just blood work. So it's okay, so functional blood work specialist has now become foundational medicine specialist.
Awesome.
So you can now have FMS.
That is awesome.
Plus, of course, the business side, because a lot of places will teach you the clinical side, but they won't teach you the business. And if they teach you the business, it's all high ticket one-to-one. And I'm against that. So
yes, I do know you're against that. I will say, I am still doing one-to-one in August. I'm launching my first big group program, like you have taught us to do.
Okay.
And, but I have not gotten that education. I haven't even truly gotten one-to-one education from any of the places that I have gotten certifications from. It's just about the coaching aspect of it. There's not I feel like all my business coaching as far as certifications go has been from your certification.
Good. It's all in business coaching you need.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've done pre-K, you now launched your own business. Let's talk about what your business has done. You just said a little bit about what it's going to do. And let's make sure that this launch in August is stellar for you. So walk me through that story.
Basically, I feel like I'm burnt out of doing one-on-one. I know that's terrible, but well, here's the thing.
Everybody listening to this is listening to this for the exact same reason. Because we're all burnt out of doing one-on-ones. And even I'm formulating this funnel right now of patients. And my tech girl, she's like, okay, you want to do group calls? I'm like, I don't want to even do group calls. I don't even want to talk to them at all.
I feel that.
So,
but I will say, okay, so here's my thing. I guess I feel like I have not been confident enough up to this point to like launch a group program and have people like I will be honest, whenever I watch your like your workshops that you do, you are so good at it, and I'm not as confident in that yet. I'm working on that. But I think that has held me back from doing group. Do what?
You know how many times I've done those things?
A lot. I know. I know. And so that's what I'm like, I'm getting to that point. Like the more I do them, the more confident I get in it. And I feel like too, all of my clients deal with the same, like, quote unquote, root issues. And so
that's
putting
together a complete
program, yes. I'm like, I can just put in like what I've dealt with all of these clients over the last year and turn that into a group program. And then we can help many people at one time, you know, and there's still a one-on-one component to it. I will do all the onboarding calls one-on-one, but then from there, it'll be group coaching. So anyway, that's like the gist of it, I guess. But the longer I do one-on-one, I'm like, I could totally turn this into group because all these people have the same root issues. And I'm not talking like root cause, like even internally. I'm talking like mental blocks, like all of it. It all is like the same root issues, if that makes sense.
Yep. And that's exactly why I'm a huge fan of group programs and even done for you programs, because we say the same things over and over and over and over again. So we might as well take the same conversation we're having 20 times a week anyways, put it on a replay status or in a portal or in a guide that gets shipped to the door, whatever it looks like, and serve the masses at one time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got this launch going in August. Identify the target audience first, and then let's work backwards.
Okay. My target audience is women with chronic fatigue, low energy, anxiety and depression, and irregular menstrual or painful menstrual cycles and just hormone issues. But I feel like hormone issues is super broad. It actually like is one of my pet peeves for someone to say hormone issues, because we both know like most people when they say that are talking about female hormones, like sex hormones, but there's a lot of hormones in our body. And so I'm like, well, what hormones are we talking about? So I would say like sex hormone issues.
That's when the chiropractors are like, is it your low back or is it actually people say, oh, it's my hips. Okay. Is it really your hips or is it your SI joint, your low back? Like, be more specific. Okay. We gotta dial in who this is for, because it's a little bit too broad still. If you were to walk into an elevator and if you were to say, hey, I work with people that have chronic fatigue and anxiety and depression. I want to pick one or the other, but not both.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
But let me tell you.
Okay. Can I say anxiety and chronic fatigue? Because I feel like those are hand in hand. Like if you got one, typically they have the other.
That's what I was going to say. It's like either one you pick, it doesn't matter because the person's going to be the same. But when it comes to your messaging, we want to make sure we're very, very clear on the messaging.
Okay.
So what I'm actually thinking chronic fatigue and then tying it with the blood work. Okay. So I ran an event this past month, in June, for patients. I will tell you that the blood work messaging is huge. Yeah. I had over 1,700 people register for this workshop.
That's amazing.
And 25,000 in ads. No, I spent 25,000 in ads. And in fact, our cost per lead was double what it was in January. Just because it's, summertime.
Yeah.
But people really resonate with that normal lap concept. So I think if you say, hey, if you target women who have chronic fatigue and keep getting told their blood work is normal.
Yeah.
Now they know, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Then when you're going to create your 3-day scenario, what are you thinking for your live event?
Honestly, I have not even thought that far.
Well, let's do it right now. Chronic fatigue and blood work is normal.
Well, I know I will start out with, because it's like the easiest, and the thing that I feel like I'm always talking about is stressor, like internal and external stressors on the pituitary, and how everybody thinks that's a thyroid issue. That's like the easiest. I also would love to do, and you can tell me if this is like great or terrible idea, but I would love to do one on hormones and how that's like the last piece of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. I just talked to a client yesterday about that, and she was like, I need to get all my hormones checked. And I was like, actually, let's actually wait to get those checked. We'll do that later because you can't fix your hormones unless you fix the other issues going on first. So maybe talking about like, you know, the hierarchy of, or the order maybe of reversing, fixing. I don't know what the right verbiage is there. I don't know. No words we're supposed to say. I'm terrible at that. I say things all the time. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm like supposed to say that or not, but I do it.
Yeah, I just mapped it out for you. As you're talking, I just mapped it out. Day 1.
Okay.
Internal stressors.
Okay.
Day 2, hormones. The last piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Day 3, 3 steps to more energy.
Perfect. I can do that.
So day 1, you got what? CBC?
Yeah.
CBC with
CBC and probably like thyroid in there, right? Like teach them. I mean, what are your thoughts? I like to teach the whole system because I feel like then they can like visually see like, oh, I see why like my doctor's checking my thyroid or my TSH and that's it. And it doesn't actually tell them anything about my chronic fatigue.
Okay. You can take it from thyroid route. So you want to do the HPT axis?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's day 1. Now remember, the more stories, the better.
Okay.
So be story. And of course, you can outline the HPT axis and the pituitary internal stressors kind of things, because that's what the topic is internal stressors. We should call it hidden or secret.
Okay.
Take a picture and send you my notes. Day 2, the hormones. The last piece you should worry about.
Yeah.
And then what do you want to do from a presentation standpoint?
Probably just take it even further, like not even go into like gut, liver issues or any of that during the HPT axis stuff. And then take it further than that and tell people like, you know, this is the last, or this is where we start in the food chain, right? Or the communication chain. Does that make sense? See, I'm not making sense. I don't even know if I can do this.
No, that's the reason. You have it in your head. You just need to make sure you follow you need to get the messaging right. So chronic fatigue and your blood work is normal. Day 1, you're going to focus on the secret internal stressors.
Okay.
HPT axis, like, then you're going to have, like, it's not your thyroid as your subtitle. Day 2.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What if I just do CBC, talk about, like, stressors in terms of, like, you know, like infections and things like that can be causing the issue. Like, what if I take it like literally from CBC on, and then day 2, like I still can talk about hormones, but I'll talk about the food chain issue. I call it food chain, communication chain, and then say like, if this is not fixed first, then the hormones can't be, like, you can't just go in and fix your hormones.
I'm going to make that day 3.
Okay.
Here's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
HPT axis first, day 1.
Okay.
Because then you're going to debunk the whole thyroid thing.
Okay.
Then you're going to say, oh, by the way, grab your labs because tomorrow I'm going to teach you what those internal stressors are.
Perfect. Gotcha. Okay.
That leads to day 2. Day 2. Now you know what is just really destroying and causing your chronic fatigue. We need to map out a treatment plan, a step-by-step process on what and we've kind of already debunked the thyroid and hormone issues. So day 3 is mapping out a simple treatment plan. Why? Because that leads to your group program.
Okay.
And whatever that group program looks like month 1, month 2, month 3, that's your step 1, step 2, step 3.
Okay.
You have that group program outlined?
I do.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
Now the trick is how to get eyes to the 3-day challenge.
The marketing piece.
Yeah. Do you have a sales page for it?
No, not yet. I am working on the sales page right now. I'm like, I have the whole month of July, right? Like,
build that sales page. Start marketing the living daylights out of this thing 2 weeks before it happens.
Okay.
Are you going to go organic traffic? And ad spend?
I'm not going to do a ton of ad spend. I'm probably going to do boosted posts.
Don't do that.
I feel like I get... No? Oh my gosh. Okay, why?
This is why you're talking to me. Because boosted posts aren't going to get your target audience, and they're not going to have like a call to action. Whatever money you're going to plan on doing boosted posts, whatever post you're going to boost, make those ads. And then
just turn it into an ad instead.
Turn it into an ad. $1,000 or whatever it is.
Okay.
I really like the fact that you're going to go to ad spend, because that's huge when you know that you can say, okay, $1,500 in ads, that's going to require one person for the group program.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a whole lot more than that. Now it's like common sense. Why would I not spend $1,500 in ads?
Right.
Knowing I'm going to get, let's see, it was basically $10 a lead. So $1,500 in ads will lead to 150 leads.
Okay.
That's 150 new people. For your first round, do free, and then make the replay accessible for, I don't know, 10 days.
Okay.
Make it limited, and then have your group program start 1st of September or whenever, like right after Labor Day week is over, sometime then.
Okay. This is a question that I have like wrestled with on ads, and I think why I was going to do boosted posts instead, because I don't know about ads. On ads, how early do I need to have that post? Like, how early do I need to like submit it and do all that? How long?
2 weeks.
But before it goes live, like how early do I have to submit it?
30 minutes to get an ad approved.
Oh, okay. I can do that. All right.
It doesn't take very long.
Okay.
The big thing is the ad copy. So think about this when you're creating your ads. Okay. The image of your ad is going to, it's the whole goal of the image is to stop the scroll. Okay. If you were to go to, this is another secret. So, those of you who are listening, supermemes.ai.
Okay.
Memes work very well in ads.
Okay.
You go to supermeme, I think it's supermeme.ai, and you punch in like, I feel so tired, but the doctor keeps telling me my labs are normal. It'll create 20 different memes for you. You download 1 or 2 of them or 3 of them. You use them as your image for your ad. Okay. And then you go back to the ad copy. So step number 1 in ad creation is the image.
Okay.
The goal is to stop the scroll. Okay. And then the next step will be turn their eyes on the ad copy. That ad copy is then the goal is to get them to click the learn more button at the bottom. Okay. The learn more button then sends them to the registration page, and that's where they finalize the action. Okay. So they register for your event. You have the email systems in place. You did. Okay. So you're enrolled for that. When you are sending out emails, I send them out like Monday through Thursday. I don't leave the weekends alone. And then the day before, you get like 2 reminder emails. The day of, hey, we're going live, to like an early reminder, and then, okay, join me live right now. And then the replay link later that day. So on the days that you're live, they're basically sending out 3 emails. First is the reminder early in the morning. Second is we're live now. And third is here's your replay. It's available for 10 days. Take those replays, put it on YouTube as an unlisted video. You know the drill.
Mm-hmm. All right. On to it.
Yes, don't do that. Don't do Facebook boosts. Like my Facebook manager, she would heavily not recommend those.
Okay.
Take whatever post you were going to quote boost, turn it into an ad, and then actually run an ad campaign from Facebook.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Would you recommend doing a meme over a video?
do both.
Okay.
So like 1 or 2 meme ads and 1 or 2 videos.
Okay.
With your video, you want movement.
Okay.
Movement catches the eye. That's the whole point. Catch the eye, stop the scroll.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So like even my ad videos are very, very simple. And I've thought about getting, hiring people who are professional video editors. And, and the response I've had from the internal sources are, hey, your ad caught my attention because it was so simple.
Yeah.
Because it was just you and the phone and you're walking down the street. Not some flashy thing, because flashy actually blends in now more than it ever has.
Yeah. I would agree with that. We've been doing some testing inside my private Facebook group, and all of the like organic, we don't really try hard to make it look cute and nice and perfect. Those do great, and all of the like very curated pictures and videos are like flops. It's horrible. And I'm like, okay, there's something to this organic looking feeling thing here. So that makes sense.
And then I saw someone who runs Facebook ads and teaches people how to do Facebook ads. One of her ads were, the simple things do better. I've ran millions and millions and millions of dollars in ads, and you can do all the hype, and you can create all the cool content, the cool videos, and people always, always, always resonate better with something like you taking a picture of yourself at the beach, or like something just so organic and not filtered at all. That's what does better.
Okay.
I was like, thank you, because I was like coming to my head, and then I saw the ad. I'm like, that's it. Why do I need to spend more money on some video editing company?
Yeah.
Pick up the phone, walk down the street, call it good.
Yeah.
As far as length is concerned, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, no more than 90 seconds.
Okay. Speaking of length, on the 3-day video versus like a 1-day workshop, what is like a good suggested, like a 30-minute or like an hour still?
An hour.
Okay.
And it really depends on what you're selling on the back end. Like if you're selling something that's really low ticket, less than $500, you can be shorter time frame. But if you're going more around that group program, that group price tag, it's going to be more. Like that's why I recommend a 3-day thing to build that know, like, and trust. Because honestly, the point of a group program is to not have sales calls.
Right. Okay.
You want to have the sales on the group calls.
Okay. Is for Q&A time, is like 20 minutes at the end a sufficient amount of time, or like too much or too little?
Play it by ear.
Okay.
We literally spent an hour after day 3 last week.
Answering questions?
Answering questions.
Okay.
And I was doing hot seat coaching too. So I was laser coaching. Probably never do that again. But that said, I'm going to take the content and use it as podcast episode. So it's fine.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Play it by ear. If you got a really captive audience and they're like eating everything that you're going to say, but just remember that all of my answers on the Q&A, they always led to whatever I was selling.
Right.
It's just another way to sell. There was 2 people I told not to do our program because one, she was living in mold and you could see it all over. She looked like a ghost. And then she's got this story and I'm just like, you need to move. You need to get out of that house. That's the only thing you need to do. And then the other one, she was drinking 2 gallons of milk a week. And wondering why she had such bad acid reflux. I'm like, stop drinking the milk.
Yeah. Wow.
So
that's a lot of milk.
It's a lot of milk. She's like, I don't know if I could do that. Like, well, you're sitting here telling me that you're willing to do anything to feel better. So here you go. Stop drinking milk. Promise you feel better with just that.
Yeah.
You never know what people are doing. It's quite interesting. But run ads.
Okay.
Start off small, grow. Because that's really how you grow out your business, especially making the $10,000 to the $50,000 months to the $100,000 months. I wish I wasn't so scared to run ads in the beginning. But that said, I got really, really good at what I was doing because I was organic everything all the time. So finally I'm like, okay, let's run some ads. And now it's like, okay, the systems are in place. The things like you have what you need. You have the tools. You have the systems. You've got the content. Now just broaden your scope and go from there.
Okay. How often would you recommend, this is something I think about on a regular basis. How often would you recommend starting a new group program, like launching, like doing this whole launch phase? And the reason I'm asking is because we're only doing 2 group coaching calls a month. That's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing, because my kids, I homeschool too. And I'm like, I want time with them. And so I don't want to be coaching 5 days a week, like, one-on-ones over and over and over. Like you were talking about in the beginning, answering the same questions over and over and over and over. So we're just doing 2 group coaching calls a month. And then I have a health coach that's going to be taking on one of those.
Nice.
So I would have time then to add on, but I don't want to add on too many, if that makes sense. Like, do you recommend doing 1 group program at a time, or like, does that make, do you understand my question? If I'm asking it right.
2 underlying factors you need to consider.
Okay.
The first factor is your time.
Yeah.
How much time do you have? The second factor is launches are intense.
Yeah.
So go through your first launch, experience it, and think, how much energy do I have to do that again?
Okay.
I guess there's 3 factors, because then the third factor will be the money.
Yeah. Just like ad spend and stuff.
Ad spend, how much money do you need in your practice? Christmas time coming around the corner, maybe you're like, hey, I'm going to do another one in October, another cash injection. That's the nice thing with launches, is that it literally is cash injection.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Thoughts. Yeah. I would do 1 round and then I would finish it, launch another one. So I would basically do 3 90-day programs in a year. That's because that was what my bandwidth was. Now it's like now that I've got other people fulfilling them on the back end, and my job is just market and goes on many times as I want.
Okay.
But once you get that 3 live series down, say you go 2 times this year, next year you're like, okay, round 2 was better than round 1. So I'm going to take those on a recording and then going to put them on an automated system and have it continually run some ads to it continually. And then you don't have to do the lives all the time. You still have people funneling into the group program. We just have to make sure it's an evergreen process at that point.
Okay. I'm trying to structure it that way. Like group calls are at the same time every day, and then people can like come in and join, it'll be the same group, if that makes sense.
No, that's the point of it.
Yeah.
You can do like the whole cohort is done and complete. That way, maybe you do that one time. And then the next time you do it this year, you have a whole completely separate cohort with separate calls. That way you can get the testimonials, you can get the groundwork, you can get hash through those programs, because it's going to change by the time you run the second program. And then by the time you run it the third time next year, it'll have altered and probably be more of a, okay, now we've locked it in place kind of thing. So I ran that functional bloodwork specialist program, 9 times, 10 times now. I'll tell you that the 10th time we finally locked it in. But that's because I was doing it, and then Mike joined, and now Mike's got his own gig going, and so just multiple components to it. But the first time you go in a group program, it will never be the same. It'll just constantly evolve. Okay, so you're running your 3-day challenge, or 3-day intensive, or whatever the heck you want to call it. Your group program is what you're selling, and then your target audience is chronic fatigue and blood work is normal. So just take that, picture that person in your head when you're writing the ads, when you're writing the copy, speak to that one individual, get that one person on, and then you can funnel everybody through. Okay. I like it, Lacy.
I like it. I'm excited. I'm getting, the closer we get to it, I get more and more excited about it.
Yeah, August is a good time to run things.
Okay, that's good to know.
July, no. August, yes.
Okay, when you say August, beginning of August, mid-August, end of August, after everyone's already in school?
Whatever your schedule works.
Okay. Okay.
Because school starts, and we've done this analysis too, like school starts on such a variety of days throughout the year, and you're homeschooling. There's a lot of people that homeschool too. So really, it's like, just pick a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and run it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys, that's a wrap.